Hey guys, it is not morning, it is afternoon, and we just got Todd off to the grocery store, prayed for him, and I had him wear a little mask this time. He's our guy that's going out and taking care of us. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my husband. I appreciate him very much. We have some health issues here in the house, and so just trying to kind of hunker down. Everybody's healthy, but just trying to protect that. So Todd is our grocery soldier. So he's out there getting some foods for the peoples. So in the meantime, I having a little bit of quiet time, and I've been thinking about reading the book of John and maybe just putting that out there. Anybody who wants to join in. I know whenever I tell someone, share my faith, that's the book that I recommend people start with, just because it's kind of like, I think, best friend account. And so, John was very close to Jesus, and it's, anywhere is a good place to start, but I just always kind of think I like to recommend the book of John. So I thought I'd go through that. And if you want to join me and add to the conversation, that would be awesome, because we're in the business of polishing each other up. So I would love to hear what you have to say. So I have, mine is kind of cool little, has like spot places in the side where you can draw pictures and things. And it's an NIV, so that's just the version that I'm reading, but any version is whatever is easiest for you to read. All right, John chapter 1. The Word became flesh. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision or a husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. John testified concerning him. He cried out, saying, "This is the one I spoke about when I said, 'He who comes after me has surpassed me, because he was before me.' Out of his fullness we have received grace in place of grace already given. For the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God, but the one and only Son, who is himself God and is in closest relationship with the Father, and has made him known." So I'm going to stop there. As I was reading it a little earlier, some key verses, there's lots of awesome stuff in here. The first thing that just kind of jumped out at me today was verse 5 that says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." And I think for me right now, that is a powerful truth that is a really good thing to hang on to, that things can seem very overwhelming and kind of like the light is dimming and like it's kind of pressing in. And that mental picture of the fact that he is just this light that is shining in the darkness, and it doesn't matter what's happening out here. that darkness, it does not change the fact that he is light and he's shining. And because he's there in the midst of it, there isn't complete or utter darkness. He's providing light, enough light for us to see, for us to live. And I like this, that word, has not overcome it. This is not going to happen. So that brings me a lot of hope. The next thing that jumped out at me was in verse 8. Yeah, it's little tiny things. 8. He himself was not the light, talking about John, but he came only as a witness to the light. I made this little note in my side here where it just kind of was a little math problem. And nod to my husband, math teacher, Jenny. Math teachers. It's a very simple equation here. A simple woman. E plus LB equals illumination. Electricity plus light bulb equals illumination. And just the idea that that he really is the source of the light. And we are fashioned to shine light, but if we're not connected to our power source, then we are light bulbs just in the closet waiting to be used. So just as an encouragement to me, that for me to shine, I need to be connected and not ever disconnected from the source of power that's going to create or generate that light in me. And I want to remember that because a personal struggle of mine is I kind of like to control things, and I will venture out without him. Just, I see something that needs to be done, and I will jump out there and start trying to do that. And I'm really just being a light bulb when I'm doing that, not a source of illumination, not something that's actually contributing like it should. I mean, the purpose is there, but it's just not connected, and I want to stay connected. And then I think one more thing that I wanted to share, and then I just want you guys to, if you want to open up and throw in, that would be awesome. As I was reading, I just, sometimes this happens to me, just this thought, boom, pops into my head. And as I was reading about where it said, he was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. I thought about that show Undercover Boss, where it's the boss, the guy or the gal gets into some sort of costuming and goes amongst his people or her people, and they don't know it's them. And, I don't know, if the ruse at this point is up, but, people are in on the secret here. But I just think it's fascinating that, we move and breathe in our own lives. And, just this thought that the one who made it all moves among us. He's here moving among us. And sometimes we just do not recognize him, whether it's in his creation or the people that he made. He shows up in a lot of different ways. That thought kind of stopped me as I was reading. I almost stopped while I was reading it because it just kind of really got me. But I guess that's a word to me to make sure I have my eyes wide open and my ears open. And that scripture that talks about, my sister's calling me. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about that. All right. Love you. Praying for you. Talk to you later.